Hey everyone, and welcome to Lesson 11. Today, we're talking about something essential to being a successful social media marketer: the power of data. You know the saying, what gets measured gets managed. And in our world, if you're not measuring your efforts, you're just guessing. This lesson is where we turn that guesswork into a clear, data driven strategy. Our lesson is divided into four key parts, and by the end, you'll be able to track data with your goals in mind, analyze what the numbers are telling you, report your findings in a clear, purposeful way, and finally, optimize your social media accounts based on what the data reveals. This is where your social media becomes a measurable powerhouse, driving actual results. Let's jump in. First, let's talk about tracking. Tracking is the foundation of everything we'll do with data. It's the process of collecting information about what's happening. You have to know your numbers to know if you're succeeding. Every like, every comment, every single view is a clue that tells you a piece of your social media story. The most important thing to remember is to track with a goal in mind. It's the foundation that all of our other work, analyzing, reporting, and optimizing, is built on. You don't have to do all this tracking by hand. Luckily, there are plenty of tools designed to help us. Some of these are built right into the platforms we use, and others are third party software. You have your platform specific tools like Meta Business Suite. This is where you'll find all the analytics for your Facebook and Instagram pages. You also have tools like HubSpot and Hootsuite, which allow you to manage and track your performance across multiple platforms from one dashboard. For more in depth tracking, especially on websites, we use things like Metapixel and Google Analytics. And when we get to influencer marketing, a tool like Upfluence is incredibly valuable for tracking campaign performance. These tools are like your digital assistants, collecting all the data for you so you can focus on making sense of it. Let's take a closer look at a tool you'll use all the time: Meta Analytics. This is your go to place for all things Facebook and Instagram. With this, you can track how people are interacting with your Facebook page, see comprehensive reports, and get a look at the customer journey through funnels. You can measure engagement, likes, and shares directly from your social media campaigns, and even track customer retention over time. It's a powerful tool that gives you a complete overview of your audience and how they engage with you. It's where all the fundamental data lives. Now, let's talk about a more advanced type of tracking: Facebook offline events. Imagine you have a physical store. Someone sees your brand's ad on Facebook while they're on their phone. Later that day, they walk into your store and buy a product. Normally, you wouldn't know that the Facebook ad led to that in store sale. But with Facebook offline events, you can connect the two. To set this up, you'll go into your Meta Business Suite and find Events Manager. There, you can create a new offline event set. This is where you register the customer's information from your point of sale system, like their email address or phone number, and upload it. Facebook then matches that offline data to the online users who saw your ads, allowing you to measure the true impact of your social media advertising on your in person business. The metrics you track should always align with your goals, which often relate to the sales funnel. For the awareness stage of the marketing funnel, our goal is to get seen, so we'll track metrics like impressions and reach. When we're building interest and desire in the consideration phase of the marketing funnel, we look at likes, comments, shares, and saves. And at the bottom of the marketing funnel, in the action stage or conversion phase of the funnel, we're focused on conversion rate and sales. Understanding the tools and what to track is one thing. But now we're going to get our hands a little dirty. So, how do we track these numbers? We calculate them. You don't have to be a math genius, just know the basic formulas. Let's look at some key engagement and conversion metrics. Let's take a look at the slide to see how we get those percentages. For each metric, there's a simple formula that helps us measure a specific thing. First, we have awareness metrics. These tell us how many people are seeing our content and how much our brand is being talked about. Here, we track things like audience growth rate, how fast our follower count is increasing; post reach, How many unique people saw a specific post? Potential reach, the total number of people our content could reach. Next, our engagement metrics. These tell us how much our audience is interacting with our content. This is where we measure social share of voice. How much of the overall conversation in our industry is about our brand versus our competitors. Applause rate, the number of likes, loves, and reactions our posts receive. Average engagement rate, the overall interaction on our posts, which we can also compare to our competitors' pages to see how we stack up. Amplification rate, how many times our content is shared. Share rate, how many people are sharing our content relative to our reach. Finally, we have conversion metrics. These are for when our goal is to drive specific actions that lead to business results. Here we track conversion rate, the percentage of people who complete a desired action, like making a purchase. Click-through rate, CTR, the percentage of people who click on a link in our post. Cost per click, CPC, how much we pay for each click on a paid ad. Cost per 1,000 impressions, CPM, the cost to show our ad 1,000 times. Social media conversion rate, the number of conversions that come directly from our social channels. As you can see, the metric you focus on depends on your goal, but they all work together to give you a complete picture of your performance. The good news is you can find all the raw data for these metrics and more right inside Meta Analytics and all the other social media tools we talked about earlier. Now, let's talk about return on investment, or ROI. While we often think of ROI in terms of direct sales, in social media, it's so much more than that. Especially when you're just starting a new campaign, you need to remember that your return on investment, your time, your effort, your ad money, is more than just conversions. Social media gives you a direct line to your audience, allowing you to keep a pulse on the market. The knowledge you gain from tracking and analyzing customer feedback, market trends, and what your competitors are doing is incredibly valuable. We've collected our data and we've got our numbers. Now it's time for the next step, analyzing. Just like analyzing the results of a science experiment you did in school, analyzing in social media is where we look at all our data and draw conclusions. It's not enough to just know that a post got 500 likes. The real question is why? Why did that post perform so well? What was different about it? Was it the visual? Was it the time of day? Was it the specific hashtag we used? This is where we move from just tracking numbers to understanding the insights behind them. Analyzing is about finding patterns, identifying what's working and what's not, and understanding the story your audience is telling you through their actions. It's the detective work that informs all of your future decisions. Distinguishing between facts and inferences is crucial in social media analysis. A fact is a piece of data, a hard number that can't be argued with. An inference is an educated guess or conclusion you make based on those facts. Let's use a real-world example to make this crystal clear. Imagine you're in line at the grocery store and you see a person with a wedding ring buying a dozen roses. It's not a holiday of any sort. The fact is simply, a married person is buying flowers. That's it. Everything else is an inference we're making based on that fact. Now, what inferences can we make? We could infer that this person has done something to upset their spouse and is buying flowers as an apology. However, we also need to avoid inferences that are either too far or too timid. We've collected all our data and we've analyzed it. Now, it's time to report our findings. Reporting is the art of taking all those numbers and turning them into a story that matters to a specific audience. Reports that cover audience, market growth, conversion, retention, brand presence, and cultural relevance tell a powerful story about how your work drives business growth. The most important rule of reporting is to know who you're talking to. The report you give to your company's owner, investors, or board members will be very different from the one you give your marketing team or a data analyst. Why? Because they all care about different things. Your owners and investors want to know one thing: money. They care about the bottom line, your ROI, and how your social media efforts are impacting the business financially. Your marketing team cares about the tactics. They want to know what kind of content worked best and what they should be doing next. And a data analyst might care about the raw data, the formulas, and the methodology you used to get your numbers. Your job is to tailor your report to their needs. Now let's look at the structure of a good report. Every report, no matter who it's for, should have four main parts. We'll start with the introduction or executive summary. The introduction or executive summary is like the summary of a book. It sets the stage and grabs the reader's attention with the most important information first. You should state the purpose of the report, give a high-level summary of your key findings, and present your biggest wins or most crucial takeaways right up front. Next up is the body. This is where you put all the details. In this section, you present the facts, the raw numbers and data you tracked, and the inferences you made from them. This is where you can show the graphs and charts that tell the story of what happened over a specific period. The body should be organized logically, perhaps by platform, by campaign, or by the metrics you are focusing on. This is where you give the full context. You show your audience what you did, what the results were, and what those results mean. Finally, we have the conclusion and appendices. The conclusion is where you bring it all together. You summarize the key findings from the body, and more importantly, you provide clear, actionable recommendations for what to do next. It's the most critical part of the report because it directly leads to the final step of our process, optimizing. The appendices are a place for all the extra information that would clutter your main report. This is where you can put large tables, raw data exports, or screenshots of dashboards. Now we come to the final and arguably most exciting step, optimizing. This is where all your hard work in tracking, analyzing, and reporting pays off. Optimization is about taking those insights and making changes to improve your performance. One powerful way to optimize is through A/B testing. You can set up a test directly inside your Meta Business Suite under the Experiments tab. For example, you might show half of your audience an ad with the headline, "Try our new coffee, version A," and the other half an ad with the headline, "Your new favorite morning ritual is here, version B." By running this simple test, you can see which headline gets more clicks and engagement, giving you a clear, data-driven answer on what your audience responds to. A more advanced tool for this, also on platforms like Meta, is dynamic creative ads. It's found in Ads Manager, and this is like A/B testing on steroids. Instead of you manually creating just 2 ads, you give the system all your creative ingredients. Maybe 3 different images, 2 videos, 4 headlines, and 3 calls to action. Then automatically creates and tests thousands of combinations of these assets in real time to find the best performing mix for each person. It's a way to personalize and optimize your ads at a massive scale, getting you better results faster than you ever could on your own. The key to continuous optimization is to keep testing. The digital landscape is always changing, so what worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. You need to constantly experiment. Focus your testing on key elements. Copy testing. Experiment with different headlines, body text, and tones in your captions. Does a question work better than a statement? Creative testing. Try different visuals. Do videos outperform static images? Does a certain color palette get more attention? Call to action, CTA. Testing. Experiment with the words you use to tell people what to do. Does shop now work better than learn more? Remember, when you're testing, try to change only one variable at a time. That way, you know exactly what caused the change in performance. The most successful social media strategies aren't built on luck or guesswork. They're built on data. By embracing the full cycle of social media marketing, tracking, analyzing, reporting, and optimizing, you're not just posting content, you're building a system for consistent growth. This process allows you to learn directly from your audience, adapt to what's working, and continuously improve your results. You now have the framework to go from a social media manager to a strategic marketer. You have the tools to prove your value, to show a client or a boss not just that you're busy, but that you're driving real results.